Hello, I'm from Group A and I'm doing prompt 1, which is how teacher biases can affect relationships with students based on what we've read in Is Everyone Really Equal? So one of the main takeaways from the book is that biases are not always obvious and they can be unconscious or implicit, which means teachers might not even realize they're treating students differently than others, but these subtle little differences and these sudden little behavioral biases that can be shown can still have a big impact. So like, for example, if a teacher assumes that a student from a certain background isn't going to be successful, or they're just like naturally bad at school, they might not offer the same encouragement or opportunities to that student as they would to others. And like over time, the student can like suffer with confidence or like their motivation or their overall connection in the classroom and the desire to learn throughout their education journey. And the book also talks about something called the myth of meritocracy. Basically the false idea that like everyone has an equal chance at success if they all just try hard enough. But this basically, like, that whole concept ignores the barriers that, you know, like racism, poverty, language access, and if teachers don't recognize these things and these systems, they might blame students for struggling instead of working to support them, you know, make accommodations, get to know their students. Again, like what we kind of did in our recent paper, learning the demographics of an area and a neighborhood, and how can we use that information to support them more effectively. And also, to be a better teacher, you have to be able to build teacher and student relationships. So to build those, we have to start recognizing our own biases and being open to learning and unlearning previous knowledge or habits that we may have got from our upbringing. Relationships thrive too when students feel seen and valued in the classroom and respected for just who they are and not just how they perform at school, not just off the test scores or the 1A that they got. But overall, Is Everyone Really Equal? The book like reminded me that equity in the classroom really starts with teacher self-awareness and empathy and a willingness to challenge yourself to push through those, even if it's uncomfortable, having uncomfortable situations and putting yourself out of that mindset for certain things. And that ultimately will lead your classroom to be impacted and also your students, which will build those characteristics and those life skills for them.